Hello everyone. I am back with another game today. We are starting like real American tournaments every day, 2 rounds. So first round was at 1 p.m. and I finished an hour ago. And next round starting in an hour. I got so many problems. I mean, no non-chess problems today. Unbelievable. I mean, in the morning my ceiling was leaking, so I had to switch my room number. And the crazy thing that they gave me a room number that uh, housekeeping had not cleaned yet. So uh, crazy stuff. And now after the game, I was so tired. I wanted to come to my room, and my key wasn't working. And I went back, and that long line. Okay, enough ranting. Let's go to the game and show you some interesting stuff. So this game I was playing against Jacobson, Aaron. He has a twin, I think, brother who's a grandmaster. I played against him a few months ago in um, in Grand Swiss, not Grand Swiss, Super Swiss, I think it was called, in St. Louis, where I wasn't really playing very well in that tournament. However, I was able to beat him in that game. And in that game, he played e5, but he went for Petrov. And this game, I didn't know what to expect, frankly speaking. So he went for I was thinking that probably he might play e5 because he played few games in e5, but I didn't know what variation to expect from him. So I decided not to prepare much for e5, knight f3, knight c6. So I went for my Rui Lopez. Now nothing new. So here d6. This variation a little bit rare line. It's called Stein's. And I did not really remember much, but I knew that castle should be a good move. So he went bishop d7, c3, and I was surprised with knight d7 move. Usually people put knight on f6. Knight d7 was considered worse for black. So here I played d5, the most principal line, knight b8 and c4. He went bishop b7, knight c3, castle. And in this position, I wasn't sure which way to go. After some time, I decided that the best way to take d7, queen d7, and play knight d1. Knight d1, the idea is that if he plays f5, I can respond with f3. And if takes e4, now I can take f e4 or knight e4. Both of them fine. But here he went for f4. His idea was to close the center with c5. And in this position, I was like, if I don't take en passant, d takes c6, position is very close, and I'm not sure that it is possible to break through. Although engine says white is much better, but I decided to take en passant, and here he made a terrible move. I think queen c6 was a very bad move because d5 square is very weak. So he should have taken b takes c6, and I spent quite some time trying to figure out after b4, queen a7 check, king h1, queen d4. At first glance, it may look like I'm losing a pawn because queen attacks c4 and knight on c3. But here I had a very strong move, queen to b3. The idea that now if he takes queen takes d3, I have rook d1 and queen is trapped. Queen doesn't have any square to go. And if it doesn't take, I was worried about a5 move for a long time, and then I realized that I have a very strong response, rook d1. And a4 doesn't work because I can just grab knight a4, queen a1, and play bishop to b2. And we got this position, queen and pawn against two rooks, and white is winning. Nevertheless, here obviously he could have played different. Like he doesn't need to play queen d4. He could play, for instance, a5, b5, and in this position queen d4. I did see this idea too, and I didn't quite understand. This position was already complicated, but I thought white has always compensation when I take c6 and put my knight on d5. I don't think that there is any chance that I can lose. Anyway, this was his best try. But he went for queen c6. I think he underestimated my b3 move. Because b3, b5, black is winning a pawn, but it shouldn't be enough. And in this position, I spent some time trying to figure out, should I play bishop a3, king h1, or knight d5. Finally, I went for knight d5, b takes, knight d7, queen c4. I was planning to play king h1, and it was gonna transpose after knight d7. So I started, he played knight d7, bishop a3, and took on c4. And in this position, I was wondering like which way to go. Like I had so many tempting options. Like knight e7 even was looking great. Bishop takes d6. Now e5 is hanging. I should have gone for this position. For some reason, I decided not to follow. Although this position is very bad for black because the pawn structure is weak and I have much more activities and his pieces are not coordinated. So this could have been one choice. I had I went for king h1 because this was my plan initially, and here he played rook fc8, which I kind of missed. I thought I was only looking at this move, and I thought after knight d7, bishop d6 I have a very good position. But when he played rook fc8, I felt like there should be something. There should be something. I spent some time. I could have played rook c1, queen a2, and queen a4. This was looking very tempting. However, then I realized that I can win a pawn. So I decided to win a pawn. It was a nice tactic. Knight f4, ef, knight d7, queen d6. Now the problem is that both knights cannot be defended at the same time, and I will get extra pawn. Here he made another bad move, knight c5. Because I guess he blundered that after rook fc1 he had to go back, and now I got everything and he doesn't have any counterplay. I was a little bit worried about knight g6, queen d7, knight e5, queen f5, knight d3 because his knight is quite annoying, but I thought that after h3 it should be better for white, and it is. So after knight c5, rook c1, queen f7, now I took c5, knight g6. I played rook d1 with the idea that after if he cannot play rook d8, so he goes queen c4, rook d5, and there was a cute trap. If he doesn't pay attention and I play some random move, I don't know, rook b8, yeah, for instance, and here I had a nice tactical idea that I can discovery check and win the queen. So here he goes obviously queen c2, and I play rook d1, and now knight h4 doesn't work. Nice mate idea, queen e6, check, king h8, and queen c8, rook c8, very thematic mate. Instead he went for rook e8, I played rook d2, queen c4, and here I decided, I was thinking about h3, but I wasn't sure about rook d8 move. I knew that this position should be winning, but I thought, why should I go? There is some uncertainty, maybe not much, but anyway, I decided to trade the queens and went to extra pawn endgame, which should be easy to win because his knight is very passive and I have bishop and rook tandem. So here we trade one pair of rooks. So here now king e6, king g3. And I thought that his best chance maybe would be knight d7, go for a rook endgame. As you guys know, it has a drawing tendency. Nevertheless, here I don't think that this could be drawn because I play rook a5 and his rook is gonna be passive and I'm gonna start pushing the pawns. I don't think that he can survive. So here he played rook c7 and I slowly improved my position. And finally in this position I decided to go for the pawns. King g4. So rook a2 attacks h2. Only thing I shouldn't have played it was this gf, because after rook g2 suddenly I am losing. So I played rook h5, a5, rook takes h7, a4, king g5. Here he tried his last trap, rook f2. King g6 obviously winning, but if I was careless and played f4, I was gonna say knight f4 maybe draws, but knight f4 there's rook h6 check. GF doesn't win, by the way, because of this perpetual. But yeah, I saw king g6 and g4. Here my opponent resigned because bishop defends easily and I have 2 pawns. There is nothing to play for. So it was a decent victory, I could say. And yeah, let's see how I'm gonna play in 45 minutes. I'm tired. But I will do my best. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed and watched this till this part, please subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.